Hello, my name is Brodie, and I am interviewing Miss Ames of the Biddeford High School. And let's just start right off. Are you ready?
I'm so ready, Brodie.
All right. First question: how long have you been teaching?
I have been teaching in Biddeford for 13 years. I know, very long time.
Yeah.
I taught for a couple years in Scarborough, and I taught for the year before that I came here. Came to Biddeford. I taught at York High School for a year.
Nice, and I've known you for 4 of those years, right?
A big part of those, yes.
Big part of those.
Yes.
All right, second question. What college did you go to?
I went to the University of Maine up in Orono. I chose University of Maine for a lot of different reasons. It was a wonderful school. As I tell all of my seniors and juniors thinking about going to college, that you make what you can of any school that you go to, because there's a lot of opportunities and wonderful professors in any school that you choose. I'm sure that you're going to find some sort of help in whatever career you choose. So it was a great school, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. All right. I definitely would agree on some of those things. Like, I definitely think that even though I'm a sophomore, I think that going into high school, you should have going into high school and college, you should have an open mind on what you should do depending on your college.
Right. That's what the good thing about UMaine too, and any kind of university, is that you have a bunch of different colleges. So if you decide that you may not want to be a teacher, you could change your mind and go to a different college within that university, and you have that kind of flexibility.
Yeah. All right. Next question. What type of projects do you do, either in your class or what you thought was fun in college?
Oh, that's a great question. I do, in my class specifically, I do mostly two-dimensional things, meaning painting and drawing and colored pencil and oil pastel and all sorts of different types of media like that. On my own time, I actually I create plaster creations. I do sculptures. I do like doing everything. So I like doing some photography. I love painting and drawing. In college, my favorite courses were my sculpture and my drawing courses. I took a ton of those. So I think as an art teacher, you have to be open to all sorts of different types of art, because you want to be able to be pretty, how could I say it?
Flexible?
Well, you want to be flexible. You want to make sure that you know your criteria. And so if you're interested in lots of different things, it's really helpful in that way.
All right. Very good answer. Question 4. Do you have any pets? Yes. Do you have any pets?
Gosh. So I have had so many pets over the years, and this is the least amount of pets that I've had right now. We have a cat right now named Maggie, a little black rescue cat, and we have a fish.
Oh.
One singular fish. We killed all the other ones.
Rest in spaghetti.
I know. We have one fish, but we've had many animals. My husband and I have had pretty much every type of poultry. We had geese, turkeys, chickens, lots of things like that. We had a dog for 12 years that we just had to put down. So
I'm sorry.
yeah, I know. He was the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
But we love animals. So yes.
I can clearly tell.
We will definitely have more dogs.
I can definitely think that. I've had a lot of animals in my mom when I was younger, and probably before I was even a thought. My mom had, I think the most she's had in one house is 7. She had
dogs?
No, not dogs.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Just a different type, just a bunch of different types of animals. Like, I think she had rabbits. We had a parrot, guinea pig, turtle that will outlive all of us.
Probably.
Maybe some cats and a dog at one point. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Animals are like that, especially turtles. When people get they will outlive all of you. Yes.
Yeah, question 5. What music do you listen to?
Oh, also a great question. I love music. I think as an artistic person, it's just nice to have music on in the background when you create. So I used to say everything but country, but I'm open to country, and there are some country songs that I like. In the morning, I like to listen to I do listen to classical in the morning because I think that it's like a really nice way to kind of wake up, and I have a little 1-year-old boy, and so I like to keep it nice and calm in my house in the morning.
Yeah.
But throughout the day, sometimes you hear me listening to things between like pop music, gangster rap, everything. I listen to everything in between. So
yeah, you remind me a lot of another YouTuber I watch who loves everything except pop country.
Yeah, but you can get around pop. I mean, Taylor Swift would be pop country.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
God, I love Taylor.
I don't mind a lot of music either. Like, especially as me, like I like art too. I think definitely like music is one of those things that kind of grafts you into I can't speak. Centering on one thing. Like, I listen to a lot of lo-fi when I study. I also remember we used to have a big lo-fi playlist to go back in 5th grade, 6th grade.
We did, yeah.
Huge lo-fi playlist.
We did have a lo-fi playlist, and I do like to. I encourage you know this, Brodie, from being in my class, but I love to have a playlist for each of my classes, so you have a say in what you hear during class time, because I just think it's really nice to listen to music that you enjoy, and you have time to create, and you can kind of get in that really creative mindset. So. Yeah,
I can definitely agree with that. Question 6. What did you like to do when you were younger?
Oh, so many things. I
can bet one of those is art. But.
Oh, I did. I love to do art. My mom she was an art teacher up until last year. She just retired. She worked in Scarborough. So we would always joke with people, because she would kind of test her projects out on us, like when we were younger, because she always taught younger kids. And so we always had an art project going on in our house all the time.
It must have been fun though, because you walk in on a new experiment almost every day.
Right. And so sometimes she'd be like, well, this is a flop and we're not going to do this project in class. But so that was a lot of fun to create. We always had some activity going on like that was creative, whether it be, building a fort outside or creating something like visual art. We travel. We did a lot of museums. What else did we do when I was a kid? Oh, I loved going to the beach, looking in tide pools. Awesome. Looking in tide pools is still one of my favorite things, because you never know what you're going to find when you flip over a rock,
Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to find.
You got that there, Forrest.
I use that quote all the time in my head.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, anything. I love being outside. I still love being outside. I think that getting a nice walk in, or being, on the ocean, or getting some nice fresh air every day is really important. And so I always, I was climbing trees, looking at bugs, all sorts of different things as a kid. I loved animals, obviously. I thought I was going to be a vet at one point, but I think every kid wants to be a vet at some point. If you love animals and then you find out they have to put the animals down,
and you're like, no. You actually touched on that, one of my other questions. Were you gonna be an art teacher your whole life? No, you beat me to the punchline.
So that was kind of an evolution, I guess, and I think, as any kid, there's a few people that I've met that have been like, I'm definitely going to do this, and this is definitely what I'm going to be, and they go ahead and they do it. I think, I always knew that I wanted to do something creative, and there are a lot of jobs that you can apply creativity to, and I hope that people apply creativity to their jobs. They're going to be bored out of their minds.
Yeah, I don't know how people just sit in front of a computer all day. I don't know how people do it.
Right. Well, there's still creativity to that, because you can, there's lots of types of different like digital animation and things like that. But creating websites and building lots of different things on the internet. I personally could not sit in front of a screen all day, but I wanted to be a vet starting out, and then because I love the ocean so much, I wanted to be a marine biologist. But I knew that one of the aspects of being a marine biologist, I would be behind a microscope all day, and I did not want. Well, I could see it's interesting for a few minutes, but I don't think I could do that type of research. And I always loved babysitting, and I had 2 little brothers, and I have an older sister, and I always babysat growing up, so I loved being able to kind of be around kids. And when I started teaching, I honestly, Brodie, I didn't know if it was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, but I realized very soon after, especially working in Biddeford, it was kind of the clincher for me that I love being able to come to school every day and see you know, all of my different students and learn about their lives and be able to help them make progress. It's almost like, I almost feel like it's like track. And how track, it's like you're running against yourself and your own PR. Same thing with art. So you come into my classroom and you might draw like a kindergartner at that point in time.
Oh, I can definitely.
Not you, Brodie.
I was when I first started drawing, and I still do this sometimes. I'll just draw stick figures because I'm like, either I need to do a quick sketch or I just need to get it out of the way. I'm just like,
Right. So like trying and like getting to know each of my students and understanding like where their ability begins and how I can kind of, you know, nourish that and like what direction we can bring that in and where I can bring you to. So if you start at a kindergarten level, if you're by the end of kindergarten, by the end of my class, that is a success. And that makes my heart full. And I mean, maybe it doesn't make your heart full, but it makes my heart full when you get better, you know, and you're proud of your artwork. That was so, you know, and I think that people change their career all the time. I love what I do, you know.
Yeah. All right. Second to last question here. What is a difference from, what was one of those big differences that was different from when you were a kid to now, like when it comes to either your life, like how your day works, or from, like for like your just daily, like how is it different from then to now?
Well, believe it or not, it's actually not much different because I'm still in school.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're in a high school with a bunch of
right. Okay, so I'm just, you know, how has it changed? I mean, in many ways, obviously, there's like different responsibilities, you know. So even just last year to this year, I have a kid.
Yeah.
So
also, congratulations on that. By the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I have, you know, a little person that needs, you know, lots of things in the morning. Where I used to wake up and just have my cup of tea or my cup of coffee in the morning and make my breakfast and leisurely read the newspaper, whatever news was online, and then I would meander into school, and that was that. And now I have to wake up and, you know, make sure that he's fed, make sure that he's got his lunch packed and snacks packed for the day, and multiple outfits because he gets messy very quickly. So
can't imagine.
right. So from school, I mean, in terms of like what my day looked like in terms of like structure, mostly the same because I'm still in school, right? But all those other things, the outside aspect of those things have changed, you know, quite drastically throughout the years. We're renovating a giant old house that always needs things.
I can imagine.
Yep. So there's always that, and when you're older, you have to do things like lawn work and lawn care.
I do lawn work.
I'm just saying, but like when it's your own, you also need to do that kind of stuff. So all of that stuff kind of gets compiled onto your regular schedule as well. Yeah.
All right. Last question. We're gonna round it off with something a little out of the box, but favorite animal. Because I know we were talking about animals earlier, but let's continue that subject for a little bit.
Oh, this is a good one because it's almost like, so when I was a kid, my favorite color was red, and now it's blue. So it kind of changes sometimes, but I'm gonna have to go with my old trusty sea turtle. I love a sea turtle.
I'm a sea animal person too. My favorite is an axolotl, actually. So,
they're so cool.
Yes, they are, and also just a little smile. They're so cute.
With their weird little like
fins.
The fin things. Yeah, very cool. Sea turtles, I just think they're so peaceful.
Yeah, they're like, and also I think they're like that animal that a lot of artists go to immediately because they can also show like you said, peace and tranquility. Yeah. And also they're just that thing. They're just like mystic because it's kind of like when you think about it, it shouldn't work like that. Like turtles can't have how.
I love that you said mystic.
Like I think especially as me just being me and I'm like that person that just looks at everything at a different angle. Yeah. I think that sea turtles and axolotls especially are just those animals that just is unorthodox. Like sea turtle is more on the main line, but most people will like you said will change it inevitably. Right. And I definitely think that sea turtles are very, very cool also, and also all the propaganda, all the saving them and all that is really cool.
I know, it's really sad, and sometimes you can't think of all that stuff all the time because climate change and everything's happening, but I think that, if we don't protect the small wildlife. I used to be a beekeeper. I think you might have remembered that as well.
I think I do.
And there's such a little insect, and they're screaming that we need to change our lifestyle, and if we don't listen to the wildlife around us, then we're gonna lose what we have.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. Especially axolotls. I think there's approximately 1,300 about 1,300 to 2,200 left.
Oh man, Brodie, I was gonna ask you if you were ever gonna get one as a pet.
I can't. They're illegal in Maine, actually. I did some fact check. Brodie, put this up here if you want to. There's about, fact check myself as well. There's about 1,700, 2,300, and they're illegal in Maine, but they are legal in Boston. So I could just go move in with my older sister. And go
don't do the red-eared slider turtle situation.
I won't. But anyway, I want to say thank you for letting me interview you, Miss Ames, and I definitely am going to go out of this and especially edit this, and it's going to be fun.
Brodie, it was so lovely to talk to you as always, and I appreciate you thinking of me when doing this interview.
Yeah, of course.
Have an awesome day.
Yes, you too.